Well, it definitely looks like Sasquatch actually exists.
Some carry hate. We carry the largest trans pride flag to ever be flown in a national park and unfurled it on the side of El Cap to prove a point.
Yeah, Sasquatch is real must have been the point, as of course a lot of things are also very bewildering and unfolding right now in our current political system that, of course, is confusing a lot of people. Sadly, we live in a political system where a lot of people have their favorite gang affiliation, as I don't like to do that. There's some things Donald Trump is doing that I think are amazing. Then there's some things that Donald Trump is doing that I think aren't so good. As Tucker Carlson just came out with some very unique criticism of the President of the United States, as it looks like there's some very strange things surrounding artificial intelligence in the big, beautiful bill that is very big and probably going to be adding trillions of dollars to the U.S. national debt as we face financial Armageddon. All of this is happening as now Trump is officially investigating Joe Biden. What in the world is going to be going on with that man? Well, we definitely will see, and we will talk about in a very nuanced way and perspective in this particular video. And if you appreciate that, subscribe, click the notification button, as of course we have some weird relations here in the United States between some foreign governments that look like they are working on changing the American First Amendment and the ability for people to conduct political boycotts, which now the Prime Minister of Israel is working with U.S. states in order to prevent. The state of Florida and many other states around America have implemented this type of legalese language that prevents people from being able to vote with their dollar and to express their political opinion. Now, whatever you might think about this political kind of opinion, whether you like them or not, we live in America. We're supposed to be free. And Donald Trump definitely has been issuing a lot of very kind of peculiar, interesting executive orders and actions, specifically going after people who are critics of this one particular nation that is above criticism. I don't understand why. They have their own special word for it, too. I think we should call it what it is. If there's racism, it should be called as racism. And no, racism isn't good. It's offensive. But guess what? In America, we have a right to be offensive. As Tucker Carlson just came out and talked about how he was disgusted from a Republican Congress member that recently called for Gaza to be nuked. Yes. It's fair to say here, emotions are running a little high when it comes to this particular issue. It's fair to say that a lot of people have lost their minds here, as this is the critique that that Tucker Carlson here had of this congressman.
The fine of Florida, and he said this the other day on Fox News last week. Quote: "In World War II, we did not negotiate a surrender with the Nazis. We did not negotiate a surrender with the Japanese. We nuked the Japanese twice in order to get unconditional surrender." That
was brutalistic, and according to many sources, not even necessary. It was more meant to send a signal to the Soviet Union at the time, saying, look how bad ass we are. Look at what we could do. And then, of course, that spurred on the Cold War, which, in my opinion, was a huge, ridiculous waste of money and perpetuated just absolute nonsense, war and destruction on this earth. Some people would argue that was needed. I didn't think it was. The Japanese were defeated. We were just negotiating on the conditions of their surrender, as they wanted their emperor to still be recognized. The United States, nope, said we're going to do whatever we want with you, and we're going to call all the shots here. And you guys have no leverage in these negotiations. You do not get to keep your emperor. Pew, pow! Nagasaki, Hiroshima.
needs to be the same here in Gaza. There is something deeply wrong with this culture, and it needs to be defeated.
He's newly elected, like in the last, he filled it was Mike Waltz or Matt Gage's seat, one or the other.
It was Waltz, I think.
Waltz, yeah.
So I texted a friend of mine in Congress, is this really a member of Congress? Yes. It's like, I don't even know what to say to that, but that, first of all, it's evil, but how can you say something like that and not get expelled from Congress or the Republican? How can that person be a member of the Republican Party? Congressman Rand.
An interesting question to ask here is, of course, it's pretty clear here. There's a lot of people saying a lot of very crazy hyperbolic stuff on either side of this particular issue. It's a very divisive issue. It's an issue that, of course, will not be going away, especially with Bibi's plans for Gaza. As Greta Thunberg is headed into the region soon, that, of course, will only make it that much more crazy. And Donald Trump has been doing his best to kind of call for a ceasefire in that particular region, and it hasn't been working. As Bibi says, we're just going to do whatever we want. The fact that Bibi was bombing Gaza during Trump's speech in Saudi Arabia was also very telling. But the Republican Party isn't a party that just falls in line, and these types of kind of conversations by even individuals like Tucker Carlson are really, I think, particularly important. Another conversation that's happening right now is about the big, beautiful bill. As Donald Trump wrote on Truth Social, that the big, beautiful bill is a historic opportunity to turn our country around after 4 years of disastrous years under Joe Biden. We will take a massive step to balancing our budget. Doesn't look like the numbers on there. No, good, to be quite honest with you. There's also a specific provision in there that prevents state governments from being able to regulate AI for the next 10 years. What in the world's going on here? Before talking about that, which is not that good, some of the stuff that's being put into this bill just looks absolutely awful. And again, more nuanced conversations before talking about that and a lot more. We wanted to tell you about WeAreChange.shop, one of the best shops out there. We make sure we have some great high quality products and ingredients. We have Steph, our button pushers products, also available. She has 2 products, magnesium mist, great to put on your feet right before you fall asleep or your sore muscles. I'm going to do that in just a little bit. And then, of course, she has Happy Eyes, which is a serum for your eyes that has castor oil in it. As, of course, a lot of people are saying that castor oil is the most overlooked botanical remedy. It purges the liver, zaps inflammation, and kickstarts wild hair growth, yet it's barely a whisper. This is according to Harmony Haven 1 on Twitter, who says, so I started exploring its healing powers. Here's what I found. It's nature's, quote, Botox. It helps relieve inflammation and pain. It's a natural liver detoxer. It helps strengthen hair growth. It supports immune function. And it helps people who deal with low libido, low energy levels, low muscles, no boom boom in their life, and low T. As a lot of people also talk about how castor oil does a lot of different stuff. And we have castor oil and argan oil in Happy Eyes Serum, which is a new product. I haven't used it. It's more for the ladies. But again, hey, guys, if you're trying to increase your appearance there, check it out. Do some research on it before putting anything onto your face or near your eyeballs. Make sure to do your own due diligence, your own homework. But these are just some new products that we have available to you that you could buy. I think there's only 30 of them left, just a heads up. So supplies are very limited, and they also make great prizes. By the way, the Father's Day bundle still available. Limited number of supplies of those available as well. The Happy Eyes were in the Mother's Day bundle. The Magnesium Mist is in the Father's Day bundle. Good products worth looking into, as of course we have a lot of great stuff available to you all on WeAreChange.shop. Now, let's continue on with this conversation about the big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump wants to pass here. And there are some things that are good. And there's some other things that are a little bit worrisome. As of course, I'm not a big fan of these omnibus huge bills. I would love to see single issues just be passed. Oh, you want to lower tax? Just pass that. Just that. On its own. We don't need to do these huge bills, because that's when all of the lobbying groups, all of the special interest groups come in the last minute and just inject a whole bunch of papers in there. And like, what are we voting for? What is this? As right now, in this big, beautiful bill, specifically surrounding the Golden Dome, that's going to cost hundreds of billions of dollars. It's probably going to be $1 trillion. The estimates are $600 billion now. And it's supposed to set up a special kind of defense dome system that we pay the Israelis to have. We don't have it ourselves. But Donald Trump wants to build this here in the United States, as there's a provision in there that completely bans all 50 states from being able to regulate AI for 10 years. Yes. So let's just say hypothetically, AI takes over. AI is just devastating our cultural, economic landscape. Some states are wanting to implement protectionist policies. This bill prevents them from doing that. There's also a lot of funds, a lot of money being moved back and forth here, but also AI systems that will be a part of the new governance systems that will be installed within federal agencies and will be working alongside DOGE in order to update all of the federal regulatory agencies with artificial intelligence, which again, I not the biggest fan of, specifically with the big implications here, as of course a lot of people are saying. Why is this subsection C in here that says, quote, states that no state or political subdivision may enforce any law or regulation regulating artificial intelligence models, artificial intelligence systems, or automated decision systems during the 10-year period beginning of the date of the enactment of this act. Why is that in there? I just don't get it. If some states don't want to participate in this system, a system that is becoming more centralized, a system that now is going to be taking all of your data and compiling it into one with Palantir, a CIA-connected private intelligence agency, I have an issue with that, especially now that we have Real ID, that we have this type of new surveillance state, that we have this kind of implication of a social credit score system that none of us kind of voted for, that none of us kind of came out and said, yeah, I want to be tracked, traced, and databased. Yeah, I want every single move I make to be watched by a federal government that can't even keep my social security number secure. Yeah, I want them to know everything I did, everything I purchased, my banking records, and my health insurance records. That sounds like a lovely idea. Said no one ever. It's a horrible idea. Again, the government literally just released all of your social security numbers. They're on the dark web. All your information's out there. Intelligence gathering on the dark web. It's very easy, pretty convenient for a lot of people to just get any information they want on everybody because the government just doesn't secure their data. And they're not smart about it. So the government collecting more data, to me, is just absolutely crazy. Identity theft and financial crimes regarding identity theft are just going up and up and up and up and up. No one wants to talk about it. Everyone's afraid. Kidnappings from individuals who have any kind of crypto or Bitcoin going up and up and up. No one wants to talk about it. Doesn't exist. But now we're just going to centralize more data and create a surveillance state. Not good at all here. As, of course, Rand Paul came out and talked about how this big, beautiful bill could be adding potentially $5 trillion to the U.S. national debt, as a lot of people believe that we're going to be facing some very severe economic consequences, as the Federal Reserve is definitely not playing ball with the U.S. government. This is what U.S. Senator Rand Paul had to say on Fox News going after Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill.
Spending. Somebody has to stand up and yell, the emperor has no clothes, and everybody's falling in lockstep on this. Pass the big, beautiful bill. Don't question anything. Well, conservatives do need to stand up and have their voice heard. This is a problem we've been facing for decades now, and if we don't stand up on it, I really fear the direction the country is going.
The senator,
now Donald Trump doesn't have the best record of fiscal responsibility, but there's also another provision here added to this big, beautiful bill that I think is great. It actually repeals the requirement to report transactions over $600 or more to the IRS through Venmo and PayPal. This was a provision that Senator Warren, communist dictator Warren, was so in favor of, that, of course, now allowed the government to audit you over a $600 Venmo payment. Okay? That's the type of draconian tyranny that these people want you living under. This getting repealed in the big, beautiful bill, okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, there's good, there's bad. Tax cuts, good. Stupid rules, regulations, getting rid of them, good. More government centralization and more spending, bad. It's that simple, guys. Hey, you want less government in your life? Good. More government in your life? Bad. That's it, guys. It's that easy. All of this as we're also finding out that the Donald Trump administration and his Department of Justice now have officially launched an investigation into Joe Biden's use of the autopen. This is big because now the Biden administration is going to be officially investigated. And there was a lot of corruption involving him, involving his family, involving his sons, involving the Chinese, involving the Ukrainians. And this right now, specifically, potentially opening up this investigation could potentially get rid of the pardons that Joe Biden signed for so many powerful individuals like Dr. Fauci. As we have Ed Martin, the Department of Justice pardon attorney, who wrote in an email that the investigation involves whether Joe Biden was competent and whether others were taking advantage of him through the use of an autopen or other means. Now, I'll bet, because again, it does look like it was just a machine that they were doing it. Biden came out recently and was saying nonsense. He was mixing up his words again. He was talking about how he couldn't stand up. And then CNN was like, look how great he is. Yeah, I got just playing along into this kind of insanity. This guy that Trump is hinting at being a clone. I think I'm going to do a special video about that. It might be worth it. But this guy clearly wasn't all there. What are we going to find out here through these investigations? I'm super interested about it. Of course, the Democrats are still sticking to their official lines here. Bill Clinton came out. Yeah, no, I never saw a steep decline in Joe Biden. What? Are you fucking kidding me? This is what he had to say.
Did you ever have a moment with him where you thought maybe he was unfit to run for president? No.
I thought he was a good president.
He was one of the worst presidents. Let's just be real with ourselves here. Billy Boy there. Come on, man.
The only concern I thought he had to deal with was, could anybody do that job until they were 86? And we'd had several long talks. I had never seen him and walked away thinking he can't do this anymore. He was always on top of his brief.
You never
He pooped his briefs, too.
saw any cognitive decline.
So I didn't know anything about any of this, and I haven't read the book. I saw President Biden not very long ago.
And I did not have relations with that woman. I did not shove the cigar up her, you know what? You lying son of a gun. All right? You're a liar. You lie. you dirty, dirty dog, you, who ditched your Secret Service to fly with Mr. Epstein to that island and many other places that we just lost you. We just don't know where you went. Oh, yeah, Secret Service, get out of here. Shoo. I got Epstein to hang out with. These guys, man, I tell you. There should be an investigation about Joe Biden and the whole Ashley Biden diary thing of her announcing that she was afraid to shower. That's pretty big here, as of course the left isn't doing too well. A CNN star is leaving the network. That's an oxymoron. CNN star. A CNN irrelevant CIA mockingbird puppet. That's better. Is leaving the network after defamation lawsuit from a Navy veteran. Defamation lawsuits are definitely going up. Trump's suing a whole bunch of media organizations. And it looks like there's finally a little bit of justice here. A little bit of executive action here. As, of course, in unrelated news, there's also crazy situations unfolding now in Paris. I think I'm just going to do a separate video on that. And then there's also ICE agents showing up at construction sites, immigration lawyer offices, and arresting a whole bunch of illegals as the Trump administration rounds up 1,500 migrants in one of the biggest ICE sweeps yet. As we have to understand, Joe Biden allowed millions. Some people estimate 20 million people into the United States during his short tenure, when, of course, he just opened up the border and said, come on in, guys. We got free tamales and U.S. tax dollars for you that we're just going to give to you. And it's not like we're facing, trillions of dollars of debt. And it's pretty clear here. Donald Trump, mixed bag, especially this week. Not happy about the Palantir stuff. I think the big, beautiful bill should be just taken down, and small individual bills and small individuals should just be passed. I think we got to get rid of the pork. We got to get rid of the spending. I think we really need to itemize everything clearly. And I do not trust the members of Congress and the members of the Senate that are clearly in the pockets of all the big special interest groups that they work for, and they'll slip in some nasty stuff, just like Bill Clinton slipped that stuff into those babies on that island. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just had to do it. WeAreChange.org. That castor oil is some good stuff. All right, you might want to get some. WeAreChange.shop. We appreciate you guys supporting us, buying our products. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys doing that, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/WeAreChange.